Hello there, humans, hippies, earthlings, whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and however you're lucky enough indeed to be doing it too. I want to give you a look today at the Pz.58, the Mutz, the big dog. It's not really a big dog at all. In fact, it's an Indian Panzer with a different look. I haven't really done a review on this. I drove the tank for a bit on NA, and it's a bit of an unfortunate victim of circumstances, this tank. I wanted to drive it for review. NA has basically been 300 ping with between 1 and 5% packet loss intermittently for me for the last week, and it's just impossible to play, especially a finesse tank like this, and it is a finesse tank with any degree of certainty. But the thing that I noticed when I did play it over there, it feels exactly like playing an Indian Panzer, but more fragile, with a little bit better of a kind of turret. But the Indian's turret's really good because it's so hard to hit. It's like a pinhead. And the side armor on the Indian is definitely a more attractive proposition. So I had a couple of people send me in footage on this tank, and I grabbed a couple of games. And the reason I grabbed these two should be fairly obvious, is they highlight the way this tank works, and that is as a gun depression medium. One of the things that makes me not really think I'm going to race out and buy this tank is that it is so vanilla for a tier 8 medium tank. There's kind of two real stock standard tier 8 cookie cutter tanks if you're a medium player. There is the Russian style of medium, which is a 100mm gun, about 175mm of pen on your AP rounds, a fairly decent mobility, and a low chassis like a T44, a T54 Mod 1, a Type 59, a T34 and 2. You get the idea. Like T44 100. That's the kind of tank you're looking at. Or you've got this generic 8 to 10 degrees of gun depression, low alpha but nice gun, 2300, 2400 DPM medium tank, like an Indian Panzer, like a Pz.58, like a STA-1, like a Centurion 1, like a Panther, like, I mean, it's an 047 kind of tank. Like, these are the tanks that are just so stock standard. They really are. And because of that, I have a hard time recommending this tank. It's not that it's a bad tank. It's not even close to a bad tank. It's not that it doesn't have some redeeming features. It certainly does. It's the fact that you can get this in the tech tree for no extra price. It's, if you've got that stock standard tier 8 feel, then you've got that stock standard tier 8 feel. And this is like, the reason I called this video the Blitz, memes of Blitz kind of thing, is because there are certain tiers and certain types of tanks that are quite literally just very, very similar all the way through. And tier 8 mediums is absolutely one of them. Now, you saw the tank driven to within an inch of its life there. That was a very, very nice game by Help, I'm a Bug, 3.5K on Canal. What about if we have another Canal map from another dude, which is a mastery in the Pz.58 Mutz? Let's have a look. And I thought this one was very funny, that it's the same spawn, it's the same map, and they came in at nearly identically the same time. So I had to put them in there. So it's not that the Mutz isn't a good tank. It is a good tank. It's not that at all. It's that it's so vanilla for what it is. I mean, T95 and 2, 9 degrees of gun depression. It's got a 90mm gun. It has 180mm of penetration, 2,466 DPM, 1.9 seconds of aim time, 0.308 dispersion, and, you know, it is what it is. 225 alpha. Panther 2, 2,400 DPM, 8 degrees of gun depression, 220 alpha. Like, you know, it's Pz.58, 2,400 DPM, 212mm of pen, which is better than the Panther, but, you know, that's the best thing it's going for it. Alpha, 225, 10 degrees of gun depression. The Indian Panzer, 212mm of pen, same as the Mutz, 2,392 DPM, same as a Mutz. 10 degrees of gun depression, same as a Mutz. 0.308 dispersion, same as a Mutz, same as the Panther 2, same as the T95E2. You know, it's hard to get any kind of separation on these tanks when they are so similar. I mean, even tanks like, say you've got the Pershing. The Pershing has a 90mm gun. It's got 10 degrees of gun depression. It goes 225 alpha. You know, your M4A1 Revelarice, it has 10 degrees of gun depression, 310 alpha, and that's the big difference. Like, it's at least interesting. It's got a bigger dose of alpha and a lower DPM rating. Like, these are things you can do to balance the tanks out and make them interesting. But to me, like, the same gun is on the AMX CDC, 225 alpha, 10 degrees of gun depression. The Centurion 1, 190 alpha, 10 degrees of gun depression. They're just so similar in their gun handling characteristics, and they all kind of play the same way. That I think if there is another like, there are independent styled mediums at this tier that are kind of different, like the Lorraine 40T is kind of different. The Type 69 is kind of different. They're both auto-loaders. The Super Pershing is a very different kettle of fish. But, you know, even tanks like the FCM 50T, 8 degrees of gun depression, 212 pen, same numbers as the Indien. 225 alpha, same numbers as the Indien. 2226 DPM, which is tiny, like so close to the Indians and the Mutz and everything. So I would have loved to have seen Wargaming go with a little bit more on this tank, either in terms of alpha and lowering the DPM, or just doing something a little bit different, because it's just not differentiating itself from the competition enough for me to think that it's worth spending the cash on. If you're a collector, you're going to buy it anyway because it does look fantastic. And obviously, all these tanks work. That is not the debate. It's not that it's a horrible tank. I don't think it is at all. I just think if you're going to spend your money on something, you should probably get value for it. And if you're looking for this tank, just go and grind an Indien. It's a good tank. It's in a good line. And at the end of it, you'll have a tech tree that you can play all over the place. I'm Bushka on Blitz. Love your work. Look after yourselves. And as always, stay safe on the battlefield. And if you want to keep sending the replays in, please do. The email address is popped already. And if you want to become a patron, patreon.com/Bushka on Blitz. Without the patrons, the channel wouldn't exist. And if you get value for money out of the channel, if it's a cup of coffee for you every month and you can afford it, I'd appreciate it. If you're struggling, don't even think about it. Love your work, guys. Bye for now.